I get into any of my prepared remarks, I'd like to recognize Carrie Snyder one more time. Not because she's one of my bosses as a trustee at Ohio Right to Life, but she's doing amazing work here. And for those of you that are not a member or affiliated with Wayne Homes Right to Life, talk to her afterwards. So many times I'll get calls or emails from people. They'll say, well, what can I do? I'm just one person. The best thing you can do is join your local chapter. Join Carrie as her efforts and so many great men and women and to make an impact here in your community. From there, we're going to grow. We surround them. We do polling left and right all the time to find out where Ohioans are on the life issue. 72% of Ohioans, we've done the polling for the past year, oppose taxpayer funding of abortion. People here in the 16th Congressional District, 71% of the members of the voters here in this district. Let's take another step further. 60% of Ohioans oppose abortion. Again, all of our polling is transparent. It's on our website. Go look at it. We have absolutely nothing to hide. So people say, well, you know, that are uninformed. Well, the pro-life movement is this, that, or the other. Well, we're not. We're normal people. You know, we're your neighbors. We're your brothers. We're your cousins. We're your members in your church. So stand proud of what you believe in life, and continue to do your civic duty and elect good men like Jim Renacci. I'm little here on a tightrope because tonight's about Jim and not about me, but I do want to stand here before you and tell you that we're proud to endorse Jim in this congressional district. We've received numerous phone calls from a lot of different people, many supportive, some with questions. We've answered them to the best of our ability, and I wanted to be here tonight at Jim's request to answer any questions that anyone may have. There's a lot of misinformation, I'll leave it at that, out there regarding Ohio Right to Life. And so I'll stand before you, I'll sit before you, I'll answer any questions, whether it's in a formal setting or afterwards on the side. But ladies and gentlemen, 219 to 212. Let me repeat those two sets of numbers. 219 to 212. That was the final health care vote. If we could have stopped at 215, Obamacare would not be in place right now. The largest expansion of abortion funding in our nation's history since Roe v. Wade, passed by 4 votes. In Ohio, we have 4 men that were allegedly pro-life, Democrats: John Boccieri, Steve Driehaus, Charlie Wilson, Tim Ryan, Dennis. Well, Dennis is pro-abortion. He used to be pro-life, but he flipped, and then he got on a plane and then had a little bit better time. But four people that campaigned in 2008 on pro-life and went to churches and said, I'm devoutly pro-life and vote for me, and got them over the hump. Steve Driehaus beat Steve Shabbat, first-time office holder. John Boccieri won, first-time office holder. We have Charlie Wilson out in eastern Ohio. We have Tim Ryan. If we go to the western part of the state, I can add more. But those 4 right there, ladies and gentlemen, could have stopped Obamacare. We've worked with them for 8 months and explained to them day in and day out the devastating effects it would have on the expansion of abortion. Millions of dollars of your tax dollars already go to Planned Parenthood. With the passage of Obama, billions are going to go to Planned Parenthood now. Now, I know billions sounds like a lot to you and me, but in D.C. it's nothing. You know, billion here, billion there, what does it matter? Billions more are going to go to Planned Parenthood now because of 4 votes, because we didn't stop at 215. John Boccieri gave us his word. He was going to vote against it. And when push came to shove, that man turned his back on the pro-life movement. He turned his back on the church. I'm not here to judge his heart. I don't know his heart. I know him just from working with him, from lobbying him. But when push came to shove, when I went to him and I said, John, Congressman Boccieri, this is the biggest vote you'll ever be judged on. It's career defining. We need you to be there for the pro-life movement, for the unborn, for the elderly. Are you there? Yes, Mike, yes, Mike, yes, Mike. 72 hours before the final vote, he flips, refused to return our calls. We have a problem here in the 16th district, ladies and gentlemen. We have a man who says one thing but does the other, and he now ultimately has to bear the responsibility. Bart Stupak already announced he's not running. Again, he's retiring, won anyways, but he's got to have that on his conscience for the rest of his life. We have a man, John Boccieri, who I have all this literature from 2008, proudly proclaiming in his own mind to be pro-life, which got him over the hump, over Mr. Schuring in 2008. And now we're here in 2010, we have a chance to correct the mistakes that we made in 2008 by electing him to begin with. I'm not sure if anyone in this room voted for him or not, but we need to tell our brothers, uncles, cousins, sisters, everyone about the truth of what John did. Now, we can talk about energy, we can talk about cap and trade, that's not why I'm here. I'm here to talk about life. I know all the other issues still impact us, and Jim was right when he said that he voted the wrong way on all those too, but my focus is squarely on the life issue. We're a nonpartisan organization, by the way. We endorse Democrats, we endorse Republicans, we endorse independents. We focus on life, and in the 16th district, there's one candidate. It's Jim Renacci. Absolutely is. Elections have consequences, ladies and gentlemen. 4 votes. Okay? We put out a brochure that's called 6 Ways to Defeat Pro-Life Candidates. And you're thinking, why would you put that out? There's a reason for it. National Right to Life, our brothers and sisters in D.C., our parent organization, so to speak, put it together. We recreated it to have it more user-friendly. And one of the tenets of those 6 ways is to support a candidate who's really nice, who's great, who's done a lot of things in the pro-life movement, but has no chance of winning. It's not viable, or can't do this, or can't do that. So you have to take all these things into account. You know, sometimes I'll get calls from people and say, well, this person's more pro-life than that person. There's no such thing as being more pro-life or less pro-life. You're either pro-life or you're not pro-life. So being a Christian, you either believe in the Lord Jesus Christ or you don't believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. It really is that simple. I mean, the truth is that simple. So I always try to remind our members, because we're 100% member-based. We don't get tax dollars, proudly so. We don't make widgets. We don't make pens. We survive on donations across the state. And we're always telling our members, whether it's here in the 16th or any other district or any other place across the state, that elections have consequences, and you have to focus on viability. We talk about viability in the pro-life movement, but you also have to talk about it in politics too. What candidate has the best shot? A pro-life candidate has the best shot of knocking off Mr. Boccieri in this case. I told Jim earlier today that my Uncle Nick, great man, he lives in the 16th district. If he would call me and say, hey Mike, I'm your uncle and I want to run for Congress in the 16th, do I have Ohio Right to Life's endorsement? I would have to tell him, well, it's not my decision, we have a board to do that, but the odds of you getting the endorsement, Uncle Nick, probably not going to happen, okay? And he is pro-life, he's 100% pro-life. But again, we have to focus on 219 to 212. We lost by 4 votes, and we have a chance to correct it. We were on a national call 2 days ago, and I said, guys, I have people in Texas saying, what are we going to do, this and that, I don't know if we can win races. I said, don't you guys worry, Ohio's going to take care of this national problem. We are going to do it on our own. We're going to switch 4 seats here in Ohio. We're going to start with Mr. Renacci. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'll stand, I'll sit down, but this night's about Jim, and I thank you for everyone for being here. For those of you that are pro-life, God bless you. Thank you very much. And we're 100% transparent. I know I'm tardy on returning a phone call, and I apologize for that, but we try to always return emails, respond to emails, return phone calls. We're not a top-down organization. We start with you, and we are you. So I'll sit back down, and whatever you guys have, there's no bad question, ask them all. Thank you.